I'm Randy Rowland with the Seattle Independent Media Center. We're down here at the Longshoremen's Hall on Mayday. Normally this would be a bustling place as the workers came down to report for duty. For 8 hours today, longshoremen aren't working, and the docks are going to be idle, and it's a protest against the war in Afghanistan and in Iraq. We're going to see the longshoremen and all their allies gathering at the docks to march instead of work. The whole point is to shut down the docks, to shut down the war.
Because of this peace march that we're having today, it's exceptionally quiet today. Normally it would be extremely busy through here. Normally it would be flooded with semis, street semis with containers on their chassis, heading into Pier 18 and Pier 5. If ships are coming in this morning, there's a 9 o'clock start, it's not going to be worked until tonight. This is a stop work situation.
They never had an actual strike against the Vietnam War, so this is a historic thing. To my knowledge, it's the first time that American workers have ever struck to stop a war.
No peace, no work. This war is just driving me berserk. It's illegal, it's immoral. With Iraq we have no quarrel, so it's no peace, no work. Let me hear you now. No peace, no work, no work. This war is just driving me berserk. It's illegal, it's immoral. With Iraq we have no quarrel, so it's no peace, no work. I think you got it one more time. No peace, no work, no work. This war is just driving me berserk. It's illegal, it's immoral. With Iraq we have no quarrel, so it's no peace, no work. We're spending $700 million a day. Can you imagine for what that could pay? There is housing to be built. We need health care for all. We could spend it in 1,000 good ways. So we say no peace, no work. This war is just driving me berserk. It's illegal, it's immoral. With Iraq we have no quarrel, so it's no peace, no work. No more spilling blood for oil. We want our troops back on American soil. No more invading other nations. We want peaceful relations and liberty and justice for all. So we say no peace, no work, no work. This war is just driving me berserk. It's illegal, it's immoral. With Iraq we have no quarrel, so it's no peace, no work. It's time for us to take a stand. Raise our voices throughout this land. We have caused so much destruction. Now it's time for reconstruction. It's time for us to lend a peaceful hand. So we say no peace, no work. This war is just driving me berserk, berserk. It's illegal, it's immoral. With Iraq we have no quarrel, so it's no peace, no work. Repeat that line. No peace, no work. One more time. No peace, no work.
Okay, so here we are down on the pier. Is there anything moving on the
Well, you
dock
can see
right now?
that when those cranes are stuck straight up in the air, that means nothing's working. Nothing's working there, nothing's working there. Nothing's working on the 29 West Coast ports. Nothing's working.
What motivated the ILWU membership to do this?
Well, we still have our right to withhold our labor as individuals in this country. And our ILWU brothers and sisters, our ILWU family, we got a taste of what this administration was like in 2002 when they told us in June of 2002 that we had to get out of the way. They were going to use the Army and Navy to unload the ships because they're going to be shooting the Iraqis by the end of the summer. That was in 2002. We had not even started to look for weapons of mass destruction as a country or as the UN. So this has been an administration that hasn't paid attention to the law. We need change. We need to change this country. We need to change the direction. And what better way to start than today? Let's not put this off anymore. We've gone by long enough, and it's time to stand up and push back. The hiring halls were empty, and although they were open for business, and no one came to work. So that's number one, and that's happened already. Number two is we're going to march after a few preliminary comments here. We're marching to 66, and we're going to have probably half a dozen speakers there.
I know that I was talking to fellas down at the hall, and they were they were proud. They felt like it was a standing tall type moment. How do you feel?
I'm always proud to be of the ILWU, and I am amazed that I keep getting more reasons along the way to be proud of this union. I love this union, but this union is really a family, and we're tight knit, we're unified. We argue like hell, but we're a democracy, but we're a workers' democracy that works, and so, it's just a great organization. We've survived, we've done well. We're saddened that other workers haven't been able to be brought along in this economy. We go back to DC, we fight for health care. We have health care, but we want health care for all, and we want peace. We don't want to see our money wasted on war. We need public works, we need infrastructure improvements. We need our tax dollars we spend on home and putting people to work and for the wealth of our country, not for the profits of multinational corporations.
Hi, we're Hot Cargo. For those of you who don't know, hot cargo is what you call cargo that you're not going to move for any reason.
Like that cargo and that cargo.
Often because it was loaded by scabs or come from somewhere where scabs were manufacturing it.
Or because it's Mayday.
Some of our songs tend to be kind of working class oriented. And some people kind of ask us, have you ever written a song? You guys, you're always writing songs about workers and stuff. I don't think you've ever written one song, one guy asked me, about from the employer's point of view. So there's a first time for everything. We decided to do it. There's a song about Mayday from the employer's point of view. Oh, there is this thing called Mayday. Oh, now what's it all about? It really tends to tick me off. It makes me scream and shout. Oh, why is it that every time this Mayday comes to pass, a lot of workers will not come to work for my rich ass? We had this awful worker once, his name was August Spees. He fanned the flames of discontent amongst our employees. To try to make them happier, we hung him by the neck. But still they kept on marching and protesting. What the heck? We'd brought him here from Europe and we'd kept his wages low, just like we're doing nowadays to folks from Mexico. But he set out to unionize the whole Chicago town. Oh, why can't working people just shut up and settle down? They chanted at our windows, their voices were so shrill. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours for what we will. They'd all been working 7/12 so happily before. We told them to work harder or we'd send them off to war. There is this thing called Mayday, now what's it all about? It really tends to tick me off, it makes me scream and shout. Oh, why is it that every time this Mayday comes to pass, a lot of workers will not come to work for my rich ass? We hung their Albert Parsons and their Mr. Fisher too. We also hung George Engel because what else could we do? And still they would not settle down, they would not go away, because we shot 6 more of them upon the 1st of May. There is this thing called Mayday, it all about? It really tends to tick me off. It makes me scream and shout. Oh, why is it that every time this Mayday comes to pass, a lot of workers will not come to work for my rich ass? And woe is me, for in the end we had to grin and smile and let them work in shorter shifts for just a little while and give to them some pointless dumb September holiday and pray to God that they'd forget about the 1st of May. There is this thing called Mayday. Now what's it all about? It really tends to tick me off. It makes me scream and shout. Oh, why is it that every time this Mayday comes to pass, a lot of workers will not come to work for my rich ass? There is this thing called Mayday. Now what's it all about? It really tends to tick me off. It makes me scream and shout. Oh, why is it that every time this Mayday comes to pass, a lot of workers will not come to work for my rich ass?
All right, that's an amazing feat. This guy's an amazing songwriter. He just pulled that out of his ass.
Thank you. We're hot cargo.
Look at all these guys in the leather down here. They're singing like choir boys. Who are you guys? Some sort of motorcycle gang? What is this? Thank you very much, Seattle.
Tens of thousands of war dead. Hundreds of thousands of war injured. 2.5 million Iraqis displaced from their homes. Hundreds of billions of dollars spent to propagate that war when they could have been used for the needs of people, both in this country and overseas. The devastation of the Iraqi social and physical infrastructure, allowing corporate U.S. multinationals in their rapacious greed to profit off this war, allowing private mercenaries to run the streets of Baghdad and Fallujah, quashing the Iraqi trade union movement. These accomplishments and more have been created by Bush. Brothers and sisters, you know and I know the trade union movement is not a pacifist movement. We can't be. We struggle. We fight every single day to protect the rights of workers at the workplace. We fight to create a voice for workers. Every 23 minutes of the day, I want to repeat this, every 23 minutes of the day, a worker is fired or disciplined in this country for union activity. We are in a war, brothers and sisters. It's a vicious war. It's a war for our very survival. It's a war for democracy at the workplace. This is a war worth fighting for. The war in Iraq isn't any of those things. What we need to do is end this war now, bring our troops home now, and start directing our attentions to the positive. We need to create real multilateral peace talks in the Middle East. We need to help Iraq and Afghanistan rebuild their infrastructures. We need to pass the Employee Free Choice Act, and we need to stop the attacks on our federal workers and the privatization of their jobs. We need to create universal health care in this country and treat health care for once as a fundamental basic human right. We need to treat our elderly in such a way that they can live out their lives in dignity. We need to have comprehensive immigration reform that allows a pathway to citizenship, allows for family reunification, allows for equal civil liberties and equal worker protections for all workers. These things are worth fighting for, brothers and sisters, and we do that by raising our voices in the streets like we are today. We do that by raising our voices at the workplace. We do that by raising our voices in the halls of power. And we start by saying, no peace, no work. No peace, no work. No peace, no work. No peace. All right, Jim.
My union, which I'm proud to say, took a bold move to bring attention to the crisis that this war is causing. But sometimes workers have to lead, and I'm proud that my union made that call today. I would like to introduce to you my union brother, longtime longshoreman, proud member of the ILWU, Local 52, Max Vekich.
The committee that put this together, the host committee, made up of casuals, A Longshore, B Longshore, casuals, pensioners, fellow travelers, Jobs with Justice, community members. You did a hell of a job. Thank you. So let's give them a round of applause. I was a senior ILWU guy. You heard from Harold, he was the junior ILWU guy. So I'm batting clean up here. But I bring you greetings from International President Robert McElrath. And this was a rank and file movement that the ILWU is proud to sponsor and proud to condone and proud to back. And you see those cranes sticking in the air like Harold said. That's a message. That's the message to George Bush and this administration. Enough is enough. Right now, an injury to one is an injury to all. And I see a lot of beautiful people here. The ILWU is a beautiful family. And it looks like we just got a little bigger today. We've had enough of this war. We've had enough of this administration. And we've gotten a lot of help, though. I mean, we got the Backbone Committee here that wants to put backbone to some of our friends. But I also got to say, in their defense, Congressman Jay Inslee has been running interference for us in D.C. Earl Blumenauer of Oregon, doing what he can to push our agenda of peace now. George Miller, California, helping us, pushing us, supporting the ILWU, supporting working people. Now, they all happen to be Democrats, and I just wanted to mention we have Democratic friends, and some have a backbone. We just got to get the rest of them to have a backbone, and that's our task. And that's going to require change. And can we change? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can change. This country can change. This regime can change. Yes, we can. Workers are faced with inflation. Poor people are faced with inflation. But is it really inflation to poor people? It's assassination. Inflation is assassination to the poor. And more of the working class is going to be hitting the poverty line with the high price of gas, the high price of food, piss poor job wages, more and more of the same, and a failed policy that keeps spending more and more money in Iraq. So the 26,000 members of the ILWU who stopped work today, who denied their labor today, took a day off, is making a point. No more peace, no more ignorance. We got to move forward. Change now. Change this administration. Change now. Yes, we can. Thank you.
There is power in the backyard, there's power in the land. Oh, power in the hands of the worker. But it all amounts to nothing if together we don't stand. There is power in a union. Now the lessons of the past were all learned with workers' blood. The mistakes of the bosses we must pay for. From the city and the farm to the trenches full of mud. War has been the boss's way, sir. The union forever, defending our rights. With the black leg, all workers unite. With our sisters and our brothers in many far-off lands. There is power in a union. Now the lesson for the morning when they realize, oh, unjust laws cannot defeat us, but who'll defend the workers who cannot organize when the bosses send their lackeys out to cheat us? The union forever, defending our rights. With the black leg,